Being mixed comes with being asked a lot of different questions concerning your race throughout your life. Questions like, where are you from, or where are your parents from? Questions like, is that your real hair, or can I touch your hair? Questions like, what are you? You look like you're mixed. These questions are very, very common amongst people who are mixed race. And today I will be discussing 3 different commonalities and problems amongst people of mixed race. These problems include racial labeling, identity confusion, and hair care. For my first main point, it is going to be racial labeling. According to Psychology Today, last accessed on May 8th, 2020, racial labeling is when someone who doesn't know what race someone is assumes or guesses without asking first. This is very, very common amongst children, especially in their school years, amongst their peers and their friends. A lot of times, children who are in school will be peer pressured and kind of be assumed that they're only one race or only a few races when they want to be able to express all of their races, but they feel like they can't because people just automatically assume that they're only one or of a certain race. And according to Psychology Today, again, accessed on May 8th, 2020, it wasn't until the year 2000 when the US Census Survey started including a multiracial checkbox on the page where it asks for the person's race. And even to this day, there's still people who are ticking multiple checkboxes because they're coming up and they're identifying themselves as being mixed race. Again, peer pressure is very, very common amongst people who are of mixed race because they don't want to be racially labeled. They just want to be able to express themselves and their races however they wish. But a lot of times people will just kind of automatically assume that they're of a certain race when they're sometimes not even that race at all. And that leads me to my second point, which is going to be identity confusion. Identity confusion is very, very common, again, amongst mixed people, and it stems from when you're racially labeled when you're young or with a group of friends or whatever it may be. And according to pewsocialtrends.org, last accessed May 8th, 2020, only 61% of people who are from a white and black background say that they identify as multiracial. This number has risen a lot over the past 10 years, and it's going to continue rising because more people kind of are being accepted as being mixed, and a lot of shows like Mixed-ish and other shows are starting to come out with people who are mixed in the media as well. One very, very popular person who's in the media a lot, who is kind of famous for being mixed, is going to be Meghan Markle. Meghan Markle actually tells Psychology Today about her struggles being mixed when she was younger, and she tells about how she was peer pressured and bullied even when she was in middle school for being mixed, and how she always felt like she was an outcast because she didn't look like the rest of the kids. And this is, again, very, very common amongst people who are mixed because they kind of look a bit different than everybody else. Like their skin text or their skin tone or their hair texture is going to be different, and so this is very, very common amongst mixed children. My third point is going to be about hair care, and it is very, very common for people of mixed race to have problems finding somebody to manage their hair. And my main point from this is going to come from BuzzFeed.com, last accessed May 8th, 2020. And there was a quote from somebody who was of mixed race. And she said, "You're often told your hair is too thick for high-end street salons and too thin for Afro hair shots." So it's pretty common amongst people who are of mixed race to go into a hair salon and being told that their hair is hard to manage because it's mixed with like an African American hair texture or a white hair texture or Asian hair texture, whatever the mix may be. It's very, very difficult sometimes for somebody of mixed race to find somebody to do their hair. I personally have this problem. My dad is African American and Native American, and my mom is Hispanic and European. And so when I was younger, I often had a very, very hard time going into hair salons, being able to help me manage my hair, because my hair is, again, it's too thick for like high-end street salons, but it's also too thin for afro shops. So a lot of times I was stuck having to pay way more getting my hair done because of its different texture, because people just kind of didn't really know how to manage it or didn't know how to style it. And this is very, very common again amongst mixed people. It's very, very hard also to find different like hair products in the store. And for my visual aid, this is all my hair products that I use in my hair. Most people would only have like one or two maybe. These are all the ones that I use. I have to use like all these different ones in order to make my hair even what I want it to be, even just like this, just up in a ponytail like this. And like they even make a lot of hair products for mixed people, and this one is literally called Mixed Chicks, and it says that it is curl defining, and it helps people who have different hair textures, who are of mixed races. And that is going to be all for my speech. Thank you for listening, and thank you.